Yo, what is good? My anime faithful, what is good, yo? Oh man. So, this show of Fate is actually pretty freaking dope, and I heard some people saying that it was boring and that it's not even worth watching and stuff, and I'm pretty sure those are the same types of people I'm telling you are sheep. And as soon as they hear something like that, they just follow along. They're like, oh, well, if it was said to be like this, then it's clearly like that. So don't be one of those people, or, I mean, you could and just probably won't like my channel because I am actually someone who's going to give things chances before just randomly thinking that, oh, yeah, whatever they say is 100% because we're all the same, right? Because we all have the same taste and stuff, right? But as that's being said, this episode was actually pretty dope in the grand scheme of Fate's like overall world building, because not only are we not really dealing with like a war, so to speak, we're not dealing with, oh man, all the servants are coming out and they're all trying to, win the Holy Grail. And I think that's where people are getting this whole, oh, it's so boring notion is because there's not going to be a whole bunch of characters going at each other's necks and, trying to take each other out, which I can understand. I mean, that's kind of what Fate Zero was all about. It's what Fate Stay was all about. And then you go to the other series, there's just a lot of battling going on. So I get it. I mean, at the end of the day, there was a battle in this, but I'm guessing to those people who call this show boring, this battle meant nothing to them, right? Because clearly this show is trash. And I don't know. I enjoy myself. It's nice to know that I could just watch whatever the heck I want, and then when I tell you guys about it, you could accept it as garbage or whatever you want at that point, because I'm not gonna judge you for liking something that I might not, or whatever the case may be. But the reason why I say this episode is so interesting to me is because in Fate, or and just like this universe, like this world, this place that they are in, they have a lot of things that were kind of I want to say, I was gonna say dwelled on, but they had some things where you could hear about it, and if you hear about it and try to do it, it could end up, costing your life. You could end up, doing something completely wrong and screwing everything up. And that's practically what happened this week is a guy who wanted to be immortal pretty much, instead of just looking for more internal, like to be internal and stuff, and to be able to live much, much longer instead of being able to live forever, uh, kind of seemed like it got to a point where, it was like I'm doing this for my family, I'm doing this for this and that, and then all of a sudden it came down to it was the father doing it all for himself and wanting to be immortal in general. And it seems like, from what I could tell in this household, the sister may have been getting abused by the father, but maybe not simply because of like she had a marking on her hand, like a brand pretty much, and branding could usually mean, that that was some form of, hurting her and stuff like the physical abuse. But at the same time, it doesn't really tell us, for sure that it went any further than that, unlike the maid, who our main character kind of just projects what he kind of expected happened to her in some way, shape, or form. He's just like, oh yeah, the way that she tensed up, the way that she pretty much didn't defend herself, or like she backed down a certain way. It seemed like the maid herself had already been physically abused. So, and the reason why he's coming up with all these conclusions is because it just leads into his analysis of, finding out who might be the actual killer, and if any of these people have any motives to do so, he needs to know why. And those motives seemingly were, physical abuse. Someone needed money because he's in debt, and then we got the guy who pretty much is sneaky, to the guy who was in debt. So they were all pretty much giving each other reasons, or they're giving our main character who's investigating this reason to believe that none of them are, safe until otherwise. And then once he figured out, like he was listening into certain aspects of words that the daughter was saying, like the whole root, he was trying to reach the roots and stuff like that, kind of just alluding to the root of, I guess, life and creation, or the root of immortality. There's a lot of roots that you could, try to put in for that, and I think that's kind of where they were going with it. He was going for the root of immortality, and because of it, he got too close to the actual roots and got destroyed in the process. But once he got destroyed, there was still some part of him there because he recognizes his daughter. He even says that he needs more life force to become immortal. So not only did he have like his body severed and look like it was a murder scene practically, he still needed more like life force afterwards. So from the sounds of it, it sounds like he had plans to straight up, body everybody yet again, or not body everybody again, but anybody that found out about this, he was probably going to use that to his advantage of, getting more life force. Oh, my daughter probably can't solve this case, so she'll probably bring in a mage, or mages that I can take out. And strangely enough, after the blonde guy who supposedly had like all this money he needed to make up, and the inheritance would definitely do that or get rid of his debt, um, he's smoking, and we see the smoke get caught up in the transmuted circle that's pretty much holding the father's like hair or something like that. And because it touches the smoke, it straight up activates him or something, to a point where we didn't even see what he looked like or anything, which is another strange fact that, he didn't. I don't know. The main guy doesn't really look into it as much as I predicted he would, or like would jump to conclusions. I mean, the maid's the first one to see it happen, or the first one to let us know about it and this and that. I thought he was gonna go right to the maid again, but then to know that uh, the blonde guy had like abused her in some way, shape, or form, she definitely probably wouldn't have the actual mentality to do what just happened to him, in that guy's opinion. So that's just my take on it. I'm not sure why he didn't expect the maid to do anything, including after what he just saw, and start just putting more and more conclusions together. But regardless, he did not. The other thing is he kind of figured out that the daughter herself probably went in there while the father wasn't around, and looked at his research papers, looked at his notes, and already kind of found out that he was going to shoot for immortality over just leaving something for the future of the wizards, or the wizards of the mages, that's going to be, the new generation. So instead of entrusting them to take care of stuff, he is literally trying to live for all eternity and, deal with it on his own. So, excuse me, I apologize. I woke up a little bit late. So with that being said, we are definitely going to probably be getting more scenes like this. I don't know if they're ever going to allow some of these cases to go through 2 episodes, or if we're just going to go through multiple cases, uh, and every case on an episode just kind of ends after it's done, like after they're done doing what they're doing there. That could be the case, but I'm not really sure. And look who it is. His favorite person. He would cry if he saw you here. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty excited to see where all of this is going to unfold. I mean, even if it doesn't unfold in like some ridiculously crazy way, we're still going to be seeing. I feel like we're still going to be seeing quite a bit of nuance that we never gotten in uh, in the show in general, right? Like this tribute or like this thing he just tried to do pretty much was already practically very new to us, and because of it, I honestly have high hopes to see more things like this, people trying to gain power and losing themselves in the process, or even trying to sacrifice others to get more power and stuff like that. Holy crap. I just kind of expect it at this time, you know what I mean? So, we'll see how it all turns out. I am the Anime G, and I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be when you're watching this. And I will for sure talk to you in the next one. So, this show, man, I truly, truly want to know what the heck they're gonna do. Like, I'm already loving it. I mean, I you could probably tell by the my episode one title just by having some Fate Zero people in there. I was ecstatic. So knowing that it's actually going well and the storyline is actually really fun to watch, I'm very, very happy for that. So, hope you guys enjoyed it too. Let me know if you aren't or if there's stuff that you wish would improve and stuff like that. So, oh, and Gray, by the way, looking like a baby Saber, looking like a baby Saber from Fate Zero. So, I don't know what to think about her either. She was super dope in her battle. I just don't know. If you guys want pictures from this week's episode, make sure to check in the description of all my videos. I've been putting pictures up from every single show I usually do. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure to check that out as well. So with that, like I said, peace out everybody and have an awesome one.